Holy shit. I'm back. You can only spend 3 minutes with me on TikTok. So I'm back on YouTube and I'm gonna share my updated foundation routine with you. So if you wanna see how I get my skin to look like this, please keep on watching. It's been forever. Not much has changed in my routine, I don't think, but we'll see. I'm gonna start off with the Fix Plus Magic Radiance. I keep getting asked a lot about my skincare. It's very inconsistent, but I just went back to using this and my skin's definitely 100% nicer. It's the vitamin C for sure. I do that first so that everything's super, super plump on the skin and nice and juicy. And then what do I want to do next? I'm very much in the realm of talking and the speed that I have to film on TikTok that this feels very much foreign to me. You're using Naicinamide based product. So this is from The Ordinary. It's been like, I feel like it was a year in February, I think, since the last video I posted. I've been busy on TikTok. The newer product, this is the Radiant Hydration Skin Renewal Emulsion from MAC, and it's from the Lightful. It's the newest Lightful C. I've always been a Lightful fan. Let all of your skincare products sit on the skin. If you put them on too soon, like if you put your foundation on too soon, they're gonna mix together, and sometimes those things aren't supposed to, and that's how your foundation doesn't last as long or look as great. So just go, take a sip of coffee, do your eyebrows, go get dressed, I don't know, but just don't go right into your makeup. This is my fucking obsession. MAC Studio Radiance Moisturizing and Illuminating Silky Primer. I've used way more than I am supposed to. I just I'm obsessed with the smell. I love how it feels. It's like buttery and there's grip. I went back to like other older primers that I've had. Nothing was wrong with them, but like the way that I look and feel in this primer, juicy and beautiful. When you are picking a primer, so the few things that you need to understand when you're trying to do your foundation routine is you need to know what your skin type is like and the look of your skin once your makeup is done. So if you're oily and you want a dewy finish, there's gonna be a lot of things you need to do in between to make sure that your oils are controlled, but you look dewy, because oil and like dewy, glowy skin are two entirely different things. Face and body, we haven't broke up. We did for a little bit. Nothing happened. I just tried the Shape Tape Glow Wand and I thought I liked it more, and I still like it, but face and body is what's up. Just been on TikTok making snack videos, and now a lot happened in a very small amount of time in the makeup realm as well. It's all very strange, and I'm absorbing it as I go. The brush that I'm using is the e.l.f. I'm still using this one, the e.l.f. Ultimate Blending Brush. It's my obsession as well. Just push face and body into the skin. I'm not doing my brows today. No need. I'm still out here using Discontinued product. That's actually what popped off on TikTok. This is the Soft Matte Foundation Stick. Honestly, don't get hung up on the name or the shade specifically of something. You're basically just looking for an easy to blend concealer, and then everything blends really easily into face and body. So there you go. Use this a bit more as a bronzer, versus a contour. Why did that go on so heavy? I'm just gonna buff over. Confused about where to look because I've been very used to one style for a while. I'm gonna do the sides of my nose as well. I like these 3 spots and the temple. And the brush that I'm using is the 160 from Cover FX. It's ancient, so I don't know if you can still get it. However, you're just looking for something super, super dense. Just hit those edges so the face and body kind of buffs over top and it looks like that bronzy tone is under the skin. I'll go under the jaw as well with whatever's left over. And we can do a smidge just under the lip. This is where things get freaky. I'm gonna go in with bronzer. I'm gonna go in with Studio Fix powder as my bronzer. This is in C8, and I'm doing this to kind of set that cream product. And I want my bronzing tones to look like they're under the skin. I don't need them to be aggressively on the surface. I want that for my concealer. If you've been following me for a while, you know the love of my life, Fix Plus. Plus is a tool to help you throughout your makeup process. It's going to help your foundations not look as heavy. It's going to smooth out powders. It's going to make colors look better. It's not, I feel like there's a miscommunication about the love of my life. You come over from TikTok and you're watching this right now, it's a layering process for me. When you do your own makeup, there has to be a benchmark of something that you're like not willing to change. So for me, I will always have Fix Plus. That is my main product. And then I'd probably say face and body. So I have to make sure that consistently, no matter what products I change, they have to work with Fix Plus and face and body. They are the main things. So if something else doesn't work with it, I will never change those two. I will alter to make it work. So that's something that you have to decide when you're going into your foundation routine. What am I not willing to change? If you're not willing to get rid of your concealer, let's say, then you customize your makeup to the concealer. You're not willing to get rid of the type of highlighter you use, then you customize everything to suit that one product. There has to be a benchmark. There has to be a place that you start. If you're really oily, think about oil as makeup remover and think about it breaking through your foundation. If you have no primer and only one foundation that you kind of lightly apply, of course it's going to come off. But when you've strategically layered and placed things, it's going to have more trouble getting through. I always talked about, I'm not going to do this today, but the Dermablend Illuminating Banana Powder, when I really need products to be long wearing, I would put it down right now because I'm basically telling the oil, I am break through my primer, try and break through my foundation, now try and break through this powder, and then guess what? I'm going to put more Fix Plus and foundation. Do you get what I'm saying? When all my other videos, I feel like I was using the full coverage palette and the Pro Longwear Nourishing Waterproof with Strobe Face Glaze. Still love all of those. But the way that I fell in love with Studio Tech again, beyond me. This summer though, I'm gonna have to probably go back to Pro Longwear Waterproof, but the whole time that I've been missing on YouTube, I was wearing this. So tap, tap, tap. A lot of people are using way too much of one product, like scooping out too much, spreading it. Everybody just needs to, we all just need to breathe. So I'm gonna push this in the center portions of the face. The C3, I was wearing C3 face and body. It's deeper. It's the color of my tan basically. So then I can go in with actually the lighter tone right in the center of my face. And I'm going around where I put down my bronzing products. I've also had this foundation for probably a year now. And when you layer your products, you use less of each one. It's another thing. I use a more red tone bronzer since the C8 is so golden. And I'm gonna start to create dimension in my face. This is the 187 brush. I've been very much obsessed with this brush as of late. I'm not really gonna do eye makeup today. I'm gonna go back and forth between the two of them. And I'm gonna run it through the socket of my eye. Why'd that go on so dark? It's fine, we'll fix it. That was strange. So for me, like I can go back and forth between powder and liquid because of the layer of Fix Plus. It's binding the makeup to my skin and it's allowing it to sit, but I can continue to work on the surface because the surface is always ready. Here we are so far. I love my fucking routine. I feel like I've been wearing this forever. This is Impulsive Liquid Lip Color, and I'm gonna use it as blush, and I'm using the 170, which I always use. And you can afford, when you layer your makeup like I do, I can afford to go heavier right now. This is almost empty. Actually go right onto the skin since it's almost running out. Because I'm going to be layering the product. I still have concealer that I have to put down. So if I didn't put enough right now, by the time my other layers go on, it's just going to disappear. I'm going to go right in to the temple. I'm going to go in with my color corrector, my baby Bright Forecast Under Eye Prep and Prime pen. My foundation routine for me is not like, it's not a paint by numbers thing where like this only goes here and it's intense and that's it. To me, it's more like Bob Ross. You're using so many tones and textures to build your final look. So there's more dimension and there's more that goes into it. Does that make sense? People should enjoy putting on their makeup. It's not something that you should be thinking about like, oh, I need to look like, you know, this person, or it's supposed to be this way. You need to find what works best for you and for your lifestyle, right? Do your makeup so that it looks good in real life. Yes, pictures are forever, but what about people in real life? You can edit a photo if you need to make some adjustments here and there, but to have beautiful foundation and beautiful skin in real life, that is a flex. And I, in fact, can relate. I'm gonna go back in with C8 bronzer and just build this a little bit more. I think I was using NW35 in one of the other videos, but C8 is so, for me, it's so nice and golden. I get a really nice kind of contour with it as well. Very loved So Natural Glow Play blush. I'm gonna use the same brush that I put on Impulsive, and I'm gonna tap this into the skin. I feel like I just like this step. I could have just gone in with powder blush, but I don't want to. Okay, the biggest thing for me, as we know, is concealer. I use technically, I use 3 different concealer tones. I have the color corrector kind of primer. I have the Shape I'm about to use, which is more like skin tone, and then I have a highlight concealer. They all serve a purpose, and for me, more under the eye strategically placed is better than trying to get one concealer to do the most. And I focus the product more, like, I'll get a little closer to you. I focus the product more in this area where there's less movement, and out here where there's less movement versus right in this area. Also keep in mind, your eyeshadow underneath can cover some of like any texture that's under the eye area too. So there's that. And you can see like here are my beauty marks. You can still see them even though we've layered quite a bit of product on the skin. And with Melba, I'm gonna do a touch of margin, okay, don't yell at me. Same brush because my 137s are dirty. And this is now my actual like blush color. And I'm just gonna fade this into my cheek a little bit. For my highlight concealer, this is the Studio Fix 24-hour. I don't know where to look anymore. Studio Fix 24-hour concealer. And I'm putting this where I want to brighten and highlight, which is the center portions of the face. And obviously the outside corner of the eye. If you leave your concealer to sit for a moment before you blend it in right away, it actually will begin to like kind of set, and then you can get more coverage out of your concealer. If you put it on and blend it in right away, it's just gonna be really sheer. So again, paying attention to how formulas sit on your skin. How do I wanna say this? Knowing how products perform on your skin and learning how you can manipulate them also is something that if you want a really great foundation or foundation routine, those are the little things you have to kind of invest in. Like invest in yourself. Does that make sense? Learning how formulas and products work on your skin and respond to your skin based on like your techniques will help you determine what you need in your foundation routine. Like maybe you have product already that you just need to manipulate in order to get it to work better. Maybe it's not that you need a new full coverage concealer. Maybe you need a new brush to help pack the product on, or you need to let it sit on the skin a little bit longer. Like there's tons of foundation, especially, is so personal. Like there's so many different things you can do to make it work for you. And I feel like a lot of people over the years I've been on the internet have been able to pull like different pieces of my foundation routine to incorporate into theirs to perfect their own routine. So this is exactly how I like my skin to look. Actually, while I have that bronzer, I'm just gonna add a little bit more. And the fluffier your brush is, the softer the product will go on. If you pick a really dense brush, that's where things can kind of get patchy. So to avoid patchiness, dome-shaped brushes, pushing techniques, fluffy brushes, light touch is what is gonna help keep your base on. Take some bronzer just down my neck because I don't have self-tanner on there. And don't forget the ears. I'm gonna take a 109 with the Dermablend Illuminating Banana Powder, and I'm gonna set the areas basically where the concealer went that is not already set with powder. So you don't need to go back in and reset this area that has powder on it already. Especially Studio Fix, but your bronzers, like I had said earlier, like the formula of your product will tell you what you need to do. So your powder-based products, your bronzers and your blushes will set whatever cream product is under there. That's setting. I'm gonna go in with Global Glow. I bought a new one of these. This is my like Radiance Filter, glowy, bronzy highlight thing. I'm gonna take a big fluffy brush and dust this away. Unless you're wearing super full coverage foundation, tons of product, and you need to like actually bake, like really push that powder into the skin, just dusting on some setting powder, whether it's translucent setting powder, Studio Fix powder, like powder will set your liquids. So do with that information what you will. So at this point in my foundation routine, like I'm satiny, it looks great, I want to be more shiny. So knowing that my skin is oily, it would mean I also have to add a little bit of powder afterwards. And while it's sitting, like let it sit. Don't touch it. Let it do its thing. So this will take away any texture that was there, make the product look more like my skin. I fucking can't live without Fix Plus. I would literally die. All the way goodbye. Fix Plus is my favorite thing on earth. One other thing too, like if you just wear powder or powdered foundation, using Fix Plus over top, any kind of fixing hydration spray is going to help make the color look better and sit smoother on the skin. If you ever swatched powder and your powder doesn't swatch nice, it's always really thick looking. I don't know, I just don't like it. But Fix Plus, Okay, so this more radiant glowiness is what I personally like. This could be, this is probably too much for some people. I know on my skin that I'm gonna get shiny throughout the day, so I can't leave it like this. But I want to be shiny. So how do I do that? I have to combat? I have to put powder where I get oily. It's not that Fix Plus isn't doing its job, but I know where I'm gonna get shiny and I want a little bit more coverage. So I'm gonna press Studio Fix powder in C2 under the eye because that's really the only area that I care about looking really bright. And I'm gonna just bring it down under the nose. And I can just sweep it out. So I'm strategically powdering where I want coverage and smoothness and more oil control. Everywhere else can remain nice and shiny. I'm gonna take a little and just dust it over my eyelids. All over the place with highlights lately, but I'm gonna take Silver Dusk and I'm just gonna put a little bit in the lid here. And this is a 133 at home. I can honestly feel when my heart goes boom, boom. That's really nice. That's how I just felt. I'm gonna take this just on the top of the cheekbone. This one has quite, oh my God, it's like a wet sheen. I'm just obsessed. I take it right under. All the way goodbye. I'm gonna take it right. Oh my God, I love that. Do you see? That's hot. I'm gonna do soft and gentle. Soft and gentle. I'm gonna take that above the brow here. Just because that one's a little bit softer. And I'll do the nose and the lip as well. I want more blush. So I'm gonna take Burnt Pepper and a little bit of Cantaloupe. You could literally just use Peaches. And I'm really just gonna dust it so slightly, just on the front of the cheek a bit more. I'm going for Sunburnt. Let's go up here too. And let's go right in here. Beautiful. What am I gonna add? I'm gonna add mascara and a lip. And I'll be right back. Here's my finished skin. For my lip, I have Billion Dollar Smile and Resort Season mixed together. I was trying to see if I could duplicate Red Jade. It's pretty bright in person. I know it's not 100, but I did a good job. I don't remember what my outro is. If you aren't already, follow me on TikTok. Lots happening over there. I'm also on Instagram, but not really anymore. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. I hope this encourages you to try things outside of your comfort zone and do things because you want to and you love them, not because somebody else told you to. What the internet is doing, you know? And until then, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.